Greetings and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we'll be doing a first look of the game Blood of Lions, the Somme, 4th British Army Sector, July 1916. This is from Worthington Games, and it is a solitaire game. We'll take a look at the back. Okay, so it does say Blood of Lions is a World War I solitaire game depicting the actions of the British 4th Army during the month of July at the Battle of the Somme. The game's unit scale is corps and divisions, and uses a combination of dice cards, generated command and leadership points, as well as some push-your-luck mechanics in order to advance on objectives and obtain victory points. Players are allocated command points for which they may undertake specific sets of actions each turn. The objective of the game is to gain as many victory points as possible while reaching objectives defended by a German bot, activated by player actions, event cards, and automatic defense values. Okay, so here is the look at the board here, as well as some of the cards, etc. This is a low complexity game with, as you might expect for a solitaire game, a high solitaire suitability score. 1 player, 14 and up, victory within an hour. So manageable, short, low complexity game here. All right, so I'm going to break into the box and we'll take a look at what is inside. Okay, let's pull the box top off. All right, here is our rule book. There's the board. Let's start off by looking at the rules. Start here. Introduction. Okay, pretty much what I read from the back of the box. Our components is 1 map, 1 rule book, 27 event cards, 1 sequence of play card, 3 D12 dice that are green, 1 D10 orange dice or die, 4 D8 blue dice, 4 D6 yellow dice, 1 D6 black die, 13 small blue cubes, 4 small green cubes, 6 small orange cubes, 11 small yellow cubes, 1 small red cube, and 5 small black cubes. The map, as shown on the next page, contains all the areas to conduct the movement of divisions, the colored playing pieces within their assigned corps, axis of advance, while also providing quick visual access to information related to gameplay. So that would be this right here. Okay, British trenches and assembly areas, that's here, where the player places each corps division during setup or when reinforcements are received. Then we have no man's land. First area players must move through before any of the objective areas. There are no British attack attempts on this area. The player rolls 1d6 for German machine gun fire. The die results in either casualties or retreats. Objective areas trigger event cards. So these are your objective areas, I guess. They're green. Seems to look like that. Provide victory points and are occupied by enemy forces represented by German defense factors. Within each corps' axis of advance, objectives are the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd German trench lines. 1, 2, 3. Okay, the playing pieces units are represented by cubes. Right, small colored cubes represent British Army divisions and are used to move and gain ground on the map. The cubes are color-coded to represent different levels of effectiveness and attack strength. So you can see here, the green ones are your 1st line divisions. Then you've got your 2nd line division, which is orange, and uses a D. Obviously, the results change as well. So you got a green D12 for your 1st line, your orange D10 for your casualty replacement for the 1st line, the 2nd line division. 3rd line is blue with a D8, and 3rd line casualty is yellow with a D6. Okay, each cube uses a specific color, which matches specific dice type and color, which matches the cube's color. Right, so your cubes are the same color as your dice. Here are kind of a visual representation of that. In order of effectiveness, right, we know green is the most and yellow is the least. You've got event cards that are used to generate random events and German actions before an attack on objectives. The player draws 1 card before any attack action on an objective area. Cards are resolved and discarded at the end of an action or as otherwise stated on the card. 1 attack card, 1 attack, 1 card draw. Once all cards have been used, they're reshuffled and placed face down to be used until the end of the game on turn 12. Okay. Our sequence of play: check and apply casualties to units in no man's zone. Move transfers, roll 1d6 or 1d8 for command points. Then you conduct your actions. You can move units, conduct attacks, which you draw an event card for, request artillery, and cancel a retreat result. Use your leadership actions, end turn, and move your turn's marker 1 space. Here's our setup. Seems pretty simple. Player sets up the play area by placing the British Army divisions according to their respective core areas, which are color-coded on the map. Players then place the red cube on the number 1 of the turn track and shuffle all the event cards, placing them face down on the map area. The game begins by placing all the colored markers representing divisions in their respective British trench assembly areas of the map. The player then rolls a d8 to obtain command points for the first turn and places a black cube on the command point track on the map. Lastly, you place 3 black cubes on the 3 spaces of the leadership action track on the map. So here's your command point track. Here's your leadership action track. Here's our movement and transfer. So again, we have the British trench assembly area, no man's land, the objective areas, how attacks work. They are resolved by expending 1 command point, allowing a corps divisions to attempt to move into an objective area. Each objective area has a German defense factor. We can see this one here. It says GDF 20. That number corresponds to the cumulative number needed for an attack roll to capture a particular objective area. So 20 is fairly high. So that you have to take that into account, I would assume. Attacking should be, you would expect, relatively difficult, this being a First World War game. Player first draws and resolves an event card. The player then rolls the type and number of dice for the attacking divisions, applying any card generated or other die roll modifier. If the result is equal or greater than the objective's GDF, the attack is considered successful and the British units move without expending a command point to the attacked objective area, at which point they control it. If it's less, the attack is considered a failure and the British units do not advance and remain on the last area occupied. Okay, and then you've got support, which is during attacks, neighboring corps and divisions provide abstract support to units attempting to take objectives, provided they control the neighboring objective. A white line is connecting the supporting unit's objective to the attacking / receiving support. So you can see there's some black lines and some white lines. Casualties are sustained when the British player suffers hits from machine gun fire, a d6 result of 1 to 3 during the movement into no man's land. If 2 ones are rolled as a result of an attack action, d6 dice roll against any objective. So when you're rolling an attack on a d6, casualties are applied in the following order, from the first casualty sustained to the last, and according to the color-coded divisions represented by cubes. You would replace green cubes with orange cubes with blue cubes, and blue cubes with yellow cubes, and if the yellow cube receives a casualty, they are removed from play. Retreats are applied if the British player suffers hits from machine gun fire of 4 to 6 during movement into no man's land. You can cancel retreat by expending a command point once per division per turn to cancel retreat. Okay, artillery. British may expend 1 command point to request an artillery barrage once per turn. You roll 1d6 before drawing an event card. If the result is either 1 to 3, the player subtracts 2 GDF from the target objective area during 1 attack. On turns 6 and 8, the player rolls 1d6 for reserves. On a result of 1 to 3, the player receives 1 third-line division, which may be placed on any, that's the blue cube, which may be placed on any of the trench assembly areas. Victory points. Player accumulates victory points by successfully attacking and defeating Germans at the objective areas. Each objective area has a victory point number allocated. No man's land is 0. First trench line is 5 each. Second trench line 8 each. And third trench line 10 each. Additionally, if the player controls all the objectives in any one trench line, he receives a bonus of 5, 10, I'm assuming that's 10, and 15 points respectively. That's a typo. Subtract 2 points for every British loss. At the end of turn 12, player adds up the victory points and refers to the table for the result. Starting at 90 and up, total victory, 80 to 89 is marginal, 65 to 79 is marginal success. The one above it is marginal victory. As you can see, 41 to 64 is a failure, and less than 20 is an abysmal failure. Okay, this game was designed by Joe Fernandez. He's become quite a prolific designer. I've played several of his games, and I have enjoyed all of them, so I think this is probably going to be an enjoyable solitaire experience. He does good work with the solitaire games he's designed. Yeah, like I said, I've played several of his games, and they've all been good. So, okay, if you have rules questions, you can reach out to Worthington and ask. Then we've got designer notes here on the back. It looks like the men here are playing soccer or football, them they being British soldiers, right? Call it football. All right, so let's move on. Next up is the map. It is fairly straightforward, not particularly large, as you can see. I would say this is an 11 by 17. It's got one single fold in it. And again, you have all your boxes over here for your various tracks, your division transfer, leadership actions, how artillery and reserves work, etc., your leadership actions, command point track, and then your various corps here, right? You have the 8th, the 10th, the 3rd, the 15th, and the 13th. And then they would go in here to start off. Our assembly area is the British trench line, go through the no man's land, risking the German Maxim machine guns, then going into the first trench line, then follow that. You go to the second trench line, assuming you get through here. You get 5 victory points for each of these you can take, and you get a bonus if you take all of them. Same for here. It goes up to 8, and here it goes to 10. Bonus is 5, 10, and 15. You put your losses in here so you can track them because they'll each cost you 2 victory points. So as yellow cubes are eliminated, they will go in here. Key for this, and then your key for your various dice, your cube colors, and your dies that go with them. They are color-coded and go with each other, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, now what else do we have? We have our bucket of dice in here. A lot of cubes. Here are our cubes. There are a lot of them, as you might expect. All right, the black ones are tracks. The other ones represent units. Then we have our dice. You can see we've got 4 yellow D6s. We've got 3 green D12s. We've got our blue D8s. And we've got a black D6 as well. All right. Then, of course, there are the cards. So here are the cards. I probably won't break into these, but this is an example that you can see. So this is an Air Rexy recon mission. You reduce your German defense factor, I think it is, by 2 on the objective area being attacked, and discard after use. All right, so there's the first look at this game. Relatively quick as the first looks go. I will be doing this, the gameplay here, in the not too distant future as part of my gameplay for December. So that is going to do it for this one. I'll put my stuff, oops, I'll put this on here first. While I'm doing this, I would like to mention that I'm sending a big shout out to my channel members, thanking them for their continued support of the channel. If you are interested in becoming a member, you can watch a short video. You click on the join button, there'll be a video you can check out that will explain all of the various benefits you get for that. And if you want to do it, awesome. If not, no problem. Hopefully you'll at least consider liking, sharing, hyping this video, or possibly even subscribing to my channel. All of those would be greatly appreciated. And that is going to do it for this one. Comments, questions, you know where to put them in the comment section. But for now, we're done. I'm Joe. This is Hexed Encountered. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.